What's up guys, Jack here, and in today's video we have the first Gt4 race in Forza Motorsport. The P1R guys built a bunch of the more modern sports cars that allow body kits and built them to a really specific BOP where we balance the cars as close as we can together, and we have a big variety of cars in this race. We have 21 cars. We're starting at the back because it's reverse grid from the previous race, and this class is amazing. So I have a link to the Discord down below if you guys want to check out what the builds are and what the rules are for this series, but it is absolutely so much fun. So we start off, we're in 17th, boosted in the Mustang really quick. The Mustangs definitely seem to be the faster cars. We have Kalos, Turk, and Little Bus behind us as well. So Little Bus is probably going to be the fastest one we need to really worry about. With Stevie Wara, who's also really fast, starting ahead of us, it's going to be tough to keep up with him. So right now my goal getting through the field is going to be get by boosted while we're getting through all of the traffic from the reverse grid. So in theory we should be faster than everyone in front of us, but it's going to get progressively harder and harder to pass as the cars directly in front of us are also making those moves, and the gaps between us isn't very large, but it's going to create a big cluster, which just turns into pure drama. That was an absolute blast, and I was lucky enough to get through the battle really well. So the track starts with 0 rubbering, so right now it's tough for everyone in the lobby. We're just trying to get in the groove, find the grip, so the times are a little bit all over the place, but now we're starting to get a little bit smooth, and this is the kind of racing that I wish we could get in public lobbies. This lobby in terms of lap time is really close from top to bottom. I think there was like 12 cars within like 3 or 4 tenths of a second in the qualifying, which is insane. So we're hopping into the draft now, and there is something that I'm going to do a little bit differently here, is because now that replays can save only the first 11 minutes of it, we're going to go ahead and cut to some roadside shots of the race. So now we have the Mustang boosted right in front of us with a Camaro, and I can give you guys a full list. There's McLaren, Lamborghini, the Aston Martin here, the Ford Mustang, the Camaro, the Porsche 911, and I might be missing one, but I'll get back to you on that. So we're closing in on the back of the group, and you can see the 4 guys battling out behind us. That is Turk, Kalos, Weedman, Little Bus. They're all going at it back there as we're trying to make our way through early, because the faster we can get by these guys in front of us, the longer it's going to take for the faster guys behind us to catch up. So right now I'm immediately looking to be aggressive, as so is everybody else, because they are 3 wide through the right-hander here at Catalunya, and we're going to try and maybe make it 3 wide here again. Going to sneak up the middle maybe, but no, we're going to back it down, try and get a nice short exit, and maybe pass someone on the exit. So we're going to get one right here with the Camaro, just a little bit of a bonk, but we're going to try and finish that pass around the outside, and we're going to try and get a nice good run, which he's going to have to sharpen up that exit, so he's not going to get that good of a run. So we're already making a move around the outside of this Aston Martin, where we go 3 wide again, unfortunately have to lift. So now we're sitting back. We're going to make the move on the Aston Martin on the final quarter, and now we have 2 cars side by side on the front straightaway. That's going to give us a big chance to get by them, as they're not going to get any draft. And well, I'm going to trap this Aston Martin to my left, sneak right around on the inside, and hit slam on those brakes as late as possible, trying to make that corner. We go a little bit wide on the exit, but we make it work. And the Aston Martin, we had a really good tune. We were able to get the power down really well, and you can see that cluster behind us, but there's also another cluster up ahead of us, so we have to try and get away from those cars behind us again and catch up to that next group, make our way through quickly as we can to make sure that the faster guys behind us don't immediately get the chance to attack. So unfortunately I had a small little glitch with delivery. I tried to do it last minute, and wouldn't let me load any of the vinyls, so that's why the car is just pink with a white hood. There wasn't anything else that the game was allowing me to do. So we're able to create enough of a gap here so we're not too worried about the Camaro behind, although we did push a little bit wide. But I'm still not too worried about that car behind yet, because in the first race, I really started to feel confident with the car. I did not have as much practice as I like. I barely got the car built to the correct car level in time for the race. It needed to be level 45, and I believe I started it an hour before the race at level 33. So it was cutting it really, really close. But we're catching up back to the rear end of the Mustang in front of us now. And we want to try and get another nice draft and see if we can make another move immediately and not take too much time getting through the field. As you can see, boosted up ahead of us right there, he's going to be gaining a lot of time and pulling away, which I do not want, because once we do end up in the open air and not having other cars in front of us, I know he's going to have the speed to pull away. So right now we got the draft. We're going to pull alongside this Ford Mustang, get on the brakes nice and hard, and that's another pass into turn 1. Although we started all the way back in 17th, now we are inside the top 10. Now we have a couple more Mustangs up ahead of us. Definitely seems to be a popular choice, but as you can see, there is a bit of a stack up. So there's 5 cars right up in front of us, maybe even 6, that we have the chance to now make a move if someone makes a slight mistake or goes wide, tries to pass when they shouldn't. So now we're just going to be a little bit optimistic. That did not say that correctly, but we're going to be optimistic and see if we can make any moves. So we're going to stick on the outside and try and get a nice run on the corner exit here. We're able to pass 1 and get alongside the second car. We're going to try to get around him, but we finished the pass on the first Mustang right there. Hop back in line. Now we are back ahead of Boosted, which is big for us because Boosted, I think, is a little bit quicker than us in clean air. So back into the draft. We're going to try and make another move here. 3 wide, it looks like. Again, we're in the middle, trying to maybe make it work. Nope, we're just going to get off the brakes early again, slow it way down, try and get it on the exit. We're going to get one guy there, and we're going to get both of them as the Mustang gets a little bit sideways. And we just made another 2 passes into that corner. As we see some contact up ahead, I go a little bit wide, thinking there's going to be a little bit worse for wear, but it's all good. We're going to chop in front of this Mustang right here and try and get a nice run on the Corvette. And what do we got here? The Corvette and the Ferrari up ahead of us. So the Ferrari isn't the fastest on the straights. It's actually really down on power, 390-ish. So once the Corvette gets alongside, he no longer has that draft. That's going to allow us to get the draft off both of those cars, make another 3 wide move down into turn 1. And we are up another position, and we are flying as we still have most of our competition stuck back in that pack. We have some time to try and run away from the pack now. So we are off and running. Now, we're going to cut to a little bit of the action with P1R Turk back in the battle, and we're going to watch the chaos around him as one car goes off. Turk was 4 wide briefly, and right now he has Little Bus and Weedman sticking right to his rear end. They are stuck side by side all the way through the corner. Neither of them are going to give an inch. Turk absolutely does not want to let Little Bus by, as he knows the same thing I do. Little Bus in that Mustang is very, very fast. Little Bus is fast in anything, but when you give him a fast car that's already fast, yeah, good luck stopping him. So he goes up the inside again, super early, but Turk manages to hold him off, and Turk has some little bit of a straight line weaving, just a tiny bit as Weedman tries to take it 3 wide all the way around the outside. That one's not going to be happening yet, but he does get a good run, and there's a chance he can get a little bit of contact on the Mustang, and he's going to stick it up the inside. Weedman being extremely aggressive right on the start, right on the inside, and keep an eye on that red Corvette real quick. Whee! Yeah, that was a weird one. Let's take another look at that. So we have Weedman coming out of the corner, and he gets both of the curbs right on the entry, and it just instantly slides out and barely misses 2 cars right there. That was a close one. Now let's jump back to Turk. Turk's got a little bit of ground to make up. Big pack up ahead. Now, he still has to worry about this battle with Little Bus, because Little Bus is not going to go easy on him, and it's always enjoyable to see someone bully Turk a little bit, but Turk's given everything back that he is receiving right now. Holds him off in turn 1 again. Little Bus going for the better exit into turn 2, so he's going to take a much wider line. Try and get the power down early, maybe get to the outside of Turk, but it's not going to work this time, but he does have that straight line speed. He's going to go around the outside again. Turk early on the inside, covering that move off. There you can see my pink Aston Martin up there, as Turk and Little Bus are now catching up to the chaos. Little Bus making another attempt here, and he goes up the inside again. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Turk's going to try and stick it around the outside, but the Mustang's got the preferred line. Turk gets a good run out of the corner, and he's got the inside line for the next one. Well done, keeping it all the way on the outside through that corner, dead even. Looks like that McLaren's got a tiny bit better handling, and that Mustang's got some good straight line speed, but right now with that side drive, Turk can kind of stay with him. And he's going to be able to maintain the inside line again. Is he going to get a good enough exit to not let that Mustang by again? He gets a good run, but now they're catching up to that big pack that's up ahead of him. So now they're going to really group back up, which is going to bring Kalos, who's right behind him, back into this fight in the other McLaren. Once again, Little Bus just sitting on the rear bumper of that car. There you can see the pink Aston up there. This is when I made the move to go 3 wide to escape this battle, is when these guys just got into it. So this was my big chance to escape, because this is what these guys were going through at this time. And once again, Little Bus pulls to the inside, even though Turk had the draft, but they're staying pretty even all the way into turn 1. Is Turk going to be able to hold the outside again as they're coming up the traffic? Little Bus gets a little bit blocked by that Mustang, but now Turk's getting a little bit blocked. And they're back to single file. He makes it through. Little Bus sticking to the inside. Turk's looking to make a move already on that first Mustang. Little Bus maybe looking to make a move on the outside, but it is a complete Mustang sandwich there. 2 Mustangs directly in front of Turk as he goes around the middle lane, trying to avoid one Mustang, gets one on the outside. Little Bus kind of hanging around, but Little Bus makes a move all the way onto the outside there. Turk trying back on the inside line. There you see Little Bus all the way on the outside as there's a little bit of contact and a stack up, and Little Bus makes a good move, but he gets a little bit blocked, and Turk is able to maintain that position so far, and they're still side by side as this Howler gets sideways in the Mustang, but he's still right there, right on the inside. Turk trying to get away from one Mustang, finds himself stuck in the sights of another yet again. But he's got himself a little bit of breathing room, and now he's back onto that Ferrari as you see a big dive bomb from Kalos and a nice little undercut on the exit as Kalos makes the pass and gets immediately passed back. That was a nice little move. And now Turk finishes the pass onto the Ferrari. So now he has another Mustang up ahead of him. Gonna definitely try and make a move pretty quickly on him as he now has a little bit of time to get away from his teammate in Kalos in the other McLaren, so he's going to immediately hop in that draft. And you can see, there's my car. That is a big gap in 1 lap that I was able to get on Turk because of the circumstances there. So unfortunately, the way these replays work, they only give us 11 minutes to view. After that, everything else is cut off, which is rather unfortunate because watching the race like this, it actually is quite entertaining and it does look pretty nice, and it makes me hopeful for one day in the long distant future that we can actually spectate races and have others. So we're going to jump back ahead to where I finished that big group off, and right ahead of P1R anti-lag as we're pulling away, we have Grim up ahead of us, and we really need to make sure we can close the gap. And one thing that I did really well in this race that definitely helped me finish well is I did not engine damage my car once. That is a big mistake, and in the sprint race, that is actually the mistake I ended up making very early on in the race. But in this one, because I didn't have to have any damage fixed on the pit stop, it saved me a lot of time. So now we've caught up to Grim, and we're going to attempt to get by him as we have another car in the pro class. Grim and I are in the super pro class, which we're all racing on the track at the same time. The points are overall. And Grim, oh my goodness.
Holy crap. My heart rate went to 190.
I had a little bit of a heart attack right there when I saw that happen to Grim. So now we're 10 laps into the race, and I'm thinking in terms of my pit strategy, I'm definitely going to need to make a pit stop unless you go medium tires, which I do not recommend, is trying to stay out as long as possible because I don't want to pit and end up back behind the cars who have yet to make their stop that I've already passed. I don't want to lose any time at all, so I'm willing to risk running my tires to a little bit worn and maybe losing a couple tenths just from doing that, then hitting early and trying to get out front. And I want you to watch really carefully what just happens. Oh yeah, he hit the pit wall and he ended up getting full damage, which was a shame because he was having a absolutely great race. So now we can see first and second right up there, Stevie Wara. He's really, really quick in this race. He's been pulling on us the whole race. We're probably not going to be able to catch him. But Sad Turn in second, we definitely have a good chance. And now that I have clean air, I can start to close the gap. Once I get this gap closed, I'm going to be able to try and jump him in the pits. So you can see he's made that pit stop. Little Bus, who we were battling earlier, got stuck battling with Sad Turn, which slowed them down enough, which will allow me to come out of the pits ahead of them, which was the goal. I want to try and make up as many positions later in the race without having to actually pass the cars. So running long, we went all the way through 15 laps. We're hopping into the pits now, and this is going to be what happens when we hop out. Coming out of the pits, we're barely staying ahead of Little Bus, but he's got a lot of pace. So right now we're trying to make it work. Not a lot of grip. We're immediately out of the corner, a little bit of contact, but we're able to hold him off just enough through that corner. And we're going to be able to just take the nice inside line, focus on getting a nice exit. We're quick enough to maybe stay ahead of him as long as he doesn't get within probably 2 tenths on a long straightaway. But you saw what was happening when he was battling with Turk. It's going to be very, very tough to hold this Mustang back behind us. As you can see, Stevie driving off into the sunset, kind of doing his own thing. So our goal is to just hold up Little Bus as long as we can. Hopefully we don't slow down battling and let Sad turn into this battle, because the more cars you start getting into these battles, the more you're slowing each other down. So right now, I think Little Bus is just being a little bit patient, and we're just trying not to lose too much time to each other. He's going to try and wait till he gets a nice good run. He's going to get a better run through the corner here, and he's going to get a nice draft, and he's going to maybe attempt to make a move up the inside. That's what I'm worried about. I'm looking, and he gets there. I try and give him a little bit. He goes a little bit wide, and we make a little bit of contact. He tries to say, hey, do you want the spot back? No. I said, no. Let's go. We're racing.
No.
Sometimes contact's made. Also, I could have just pushed him a little bit wide there, and honors would have been even. So it's all good. It's all good. So we're making our way. We stay in front for now, but it's really difficult when that car gets right up behind you. There is a little bit of aero wash still in this game, which at the rate it's at now, I really do not mind as much because it keeps things pretty close. But right there, you can see there's just nothing I can do about this. But one little secret, side drafting NASCAR style does actually work. As you can see, we're actually able to start pulling back a little bit of ground. So we try and maintain all the way around on the outside. We try and we get a big bounce, and unfortunately that's going to end up losing us quite a bit of ground. We took too much curb. We got too greedy. We're going to try and stay in the draft of Little Bus as long as we can, but there's only so much we can do, and we're going to try to make another move, but he has the pace overall to run away with this. So we're winding, for this video, we're winding it down with just a few takeaways. The Gt4 class is probably one of the most fun ideas and fun to drive cars I've done in this game so far. This race is essentially what I think Forza Motorsport could be and should be. We should be able to have public lobbies at a level like this and races at this long. Adding in races like 1 hour races or 45-minute races, just like add a 25 lap race, make it long and turn damage on. That'll be something, but right now it's just so much of the same stuff. Like right now there's 5 tracks to choose from in Forza GT, and I'm only really interested in racing on VIR because they finally gave us the correct layout for VIR and not the club circuit layout. So that's really the only track I want to drive right now. We have no options for GT Endurance, and I'm gonna be honest, I've driven Suzuka like 4 times and I'm kind of over it. So thank you guys for watching. We ended up finishing this race against a very, very strong field of 21 drivers in 3rd. We did not get the fastest lap. That is unfortunately going to go down to the 2nd place car of Little Bus, who's about 0.8 of a second faster than us. Congrats to everyone who put this race on. This was by far the most fun I've had racing in a race, and I'm glad I got talked into it because I almost didn't make it because my car wasn't upgraded. So I highly recommend looking into this. Next Friday, let me give you the date. Next Friday is going to be March 1st.
Yeah, I got lucky.
We are going to be running these GT4 builds against the GS builds I have in my Discord, and I look forward to seeing you guys in a race with that soon. Thank you guys for watching and have a good one.